It's a beautiful night in the Bay Area. We're about an hour south of San Francisco on the campus of Santa Clara. A big early season matchup in the West Coast Conference. The power team in this league, number 23 Gonzaga, on the road to take on the Broncos of Santa Clara. And look who is here tonight. Maybe the all-time greatest Broncos, Steve Nash, the Hall of Famer. He has not been back for a basketball game in a long, long time. And he's pumped. He's getting the students ready. Big crowd is here, looking to snap a long losing streak against their historic rivals in the West Coast Conference. Hi, everybody. Dave Fleming, Sean Farnham. Great to have you with us. Okay, so Hall of Famer in the building. First time he's been back in a long time.
Dave, enough about you. Steve Nash is also here.
Thank you, Sean. Steve will be with us during our first half broadcast. We'll talk to him about coming back here to campus. But meanwhile, his team, the Broncos, trying to snap a 26-game losing streak to the Zags. Can they do it tonight?
They can, but there's a couple components. One, they have to have great ball security here tonight. You can't allow the Gonzaga Bulldogs to get out in transition. The second aspect is they've gotten into trouble with fouling teams and getting them to the free throw line and allowing their opponents to make more free throws than they've been able to attempt this season. And that is a problem for the Broncos here tonight. But this team, talent-wise, is more than capable of winning this game.
Now let's spotlight a couple of the top players we'll see on the court tonight. We'll start on the Zag side with Graham Ike, the transfer from Wyoming.
Yeah, he's played big minutes, and he's had big production as of late, and they need to continue to play through him. 5 double-doubles on the season, 19 on his career. Last 4 games averaging better than 20 points per contest. And then he can eat up the inside and get that interior presence. There's great length for Santa Clara. But you're talking about pros and Adama Alpha Ball. He could maybe be the 3rd consecutive NBA pick to come out of Santa Clara. The transfer from the University of Arizona has really thrived with a lot of freedom. Career high 28 versus Pepperdine last time out. Shot 12 of 12 from the free throw line. Excellent job getting there. Shooting better than 40% from 3.
Back-to-back years with first-round picks for Herb Sendek's program. A lot of wins. Their program is definitely in a good place right now, but they have not been able to take down Gonzaga. 26 losses in a row. It bugs them around here. Meanwhile, for the Zags, I mean, Gonzaga's been in the top 25 for 143 straight polls. That streak could end if they don't get their 27th straight win against Santa Clara. And oh, by the way, Mark Few, their great head coach, looking for career win number 700 tonight.
I mean, unbelievable. And you know, you look at all those numbers, and it's uncommon to have a 27-game win streak against somebody in your own conference. The Zags have multiple streaks. They've been owning Pepperdine as well. And when you look at the conference winning percentage of Mark Few, you understand why those numbers are that way. They consistently win over 91% of the games that they've played over the last 25 years inside the WCC.
A long way to go, but this year's Gonzaga team has not been quite the same. Looking to turn things around in conference play. Both teams started their league season 2-0, and here we go. Zags have the ball first from Santa Clara. Ryan Nembhard, their point guard, he's been playing much better, shooting the ball much better lately. Nolan Hickman, the junior, tried to pass it down low to Anton Watson, threw it out of bounds.
Here's to Steve Nash. Steve Nash is used to making plays with the ball in his hands, so it's fine that they would go ahead and pass it to him on the first possession.
He hasn't been back here in 20 years. First time down the floor, they chuck him the ball. And meanwhile, Brett Napper, point guard for Herb Sendek's team, trying a wraparound pass of his own, and he bounces it out of bounds.
Understanding early conference game on the road for Gonzaga, but Santa Clara's got to come out and take advantage of the turnover opportunities they have. When Gonzaga has empty possessions, you have to take care of the ball and make sure you give yourself a chance if you want to pull off an upset against them.
Long rebound and the extra pass to Ryan Nembhard. That 3 no good. And Adama Alpha Ball gets the rebound. So now the Broncos looking for the first bucket of the game. The crossover move, and the jumper goes for Carlos Marshall.
Yeah, it's a great job just utilizing his shoulders and strength to bounce the freshman Dusty Stromer off of him to create that space to elevate up over the top. And Marshall played well last week in his first 2 WCC games. Almost 13 points per contest.
That could be a tough matchup for the freshman Stromer. Meanwhile, Anton Watson gets the first 2 for the Zags.
And he's a tough matchup for anybody. He's just so versatile. I'd like to see him be more assertive in this offense.
Snapper to the big 7-footer, Christoph Tilley. Now Johnny O'Neal, who drives and uses the glass to score. Pretty strong move from the transfer O'Neal. Ike, the double team came quickly.
And they're going to have to. It'll help them avoid foul trouble, and it puts more pressure on other players. You cannot allow Ike to get a piece of the paint and take time with his back to the basket to get to the rim.
Nembhard 3, no good. Tilley, defensive board. We showed you the starting 5 on both sides. Broncos have been using their bench for Gonzaga. Man, not getting Ben Gregg's been good off the bench, and that's about it lately.
And they're going to need Ben Gregg to provide that spark here tonight as well.
Down low, Tilley. Good matchup against Ike. Uses a spin move and then travels. Got cut off. That was good defense. 8th year at Santa Clara. Of course, he's been a head coach for a lot longer than that. Herb Sendek. In this sport, not many more well-respected than Herb. As just a pure basketball coach.
Well, he's won everywhere he's gone, whether it's Miami, Ohio, NC State, Arizona State, to now at Santa Clara, where the feeling around this program and the buzz is so much better than where it's been for a very long period of time.
Hickman had a good look and then just came up way short. Marshall trying to get by Stromer. Bounces it down low. That was a tough pass. Ike reached around, committed the foul.
A good pin and seal underneath by Tilley. And Ike got caught behind him. And Marshall just playing with it. I think that's a matchup where they feel like they can try to use some of that strength, maybe against Dusty Stromer, try to create some offense.
And Marshall goes out early. Tyree Bryant, who plays a lot, comes in off the bench. Marshall's not 100%. He's been under the weather. We'll see how much he plays. Catch and shoot 3 off to the side from Ball.
Slow start offensively for both teams. Neither team in a rhythm early. I think it's really important for Santa Clara to handle the emotions of the night, Dave.
Hickman 3 off the front of the iron.
Big crowd, retro uniforms, Steve Nash in the building.
Ball, good touch.
You know, how do you handle that? This isn't a normal situation even for Santa Clara. You know, for Gonzaga, everywhere they go, it's the biggest game when they go on the road in conference play. But for Santa Clara, you know it's going to be a big crowd because the Zags are in town. But now you've got a little bit added dimensions to it.
Yeah, this feels different here tonight. Out of bounds off of Gonzaga. So Santa Clara with the 6-2 lead gets the ball back. And as Sean mentioned, they gave, what, 800 jerseys to the students?
And they gave 2 to us.
They did. We'll show them off when Steve joins us here courtside. And then also you said the Broncos are wearing the throwback. These are the uniforms that Nash wore when he was a player at Santa Clara. And they haven't ever worn these before. Ball no good. Rebound. O'Neal scores.
And the length of Santa Clara right now causing some problems for Gonzaga.
They have 3 7-footers on this Santa Clara roster, plus Johnny O'Neal 6'10". Stromer, good entry pass to Watson, but then it was poked away. Out of bounds off of the Broncos, and that'll send us to our first timeout.
Really good job by Santa Clara early. They're on a 6-0 run. The Zags have missed their last 4. Energy level in the building rising early here.
Well, one of the true all-time greats, Basketball Hall of Famer Steve Nash back here for the first time in a long time. And while we were away, they officially introduced Steve to this adoring Broncos crowd. 2-time West Coast Conference Player of the Year. Helped lead Santa Clara to the NCAA tournament 3 different times. His number's retired here. His number's retired in a lot of places. Number 11, they're wearing it all around this gym tonight. 2-time NBA MVP.
Member of the NBA 75 anniversary team. Just not a lot he didn't do. Top 5 all-time in career assists at the next level. And was the face of this entire program from the time that he arrived to really 2 years ago. And then Jalen Williams became a first-round pick, the first that they had since Steve Nash. And I have to tell you, Steve Nash, I'm sure will tell you this as well. he has to be excited about that, you know, because when you leave a program, you want to make sure that it's building and going in the right direction. And it's been tough, but the last 2 years, they've had guys that have been able to move on and make a difference at the next level. And Podziemski's been huge for the Golden State Warriors at times this year, with guys being out with injuries, suspensions, all sorts of certain things. But he's made his impact. And Jalen Williams, he's a potential all-star eventually at that next level. He's trending in that direction.
Ike with the left hand, and he scores a much-needed bucket for the Zags. It's 8-4 Santa Clara. O'Neal, tough pass and a good pass. Ball short on the three. Ball tipped around and saved in by Anton Watson.
I really liked out of that last timeout, though. Gonzaga 0 for 3 from beyond the arc. Look at the first 2 possessions where they've got the ball. They got it to Ike on the block. The very next time Watson comes down, knows he has an advantage, and spin moves into an easy deuce.
For all the size of Santa Clara, on the defensive end, I think they're going to have a hard time against Anton Watson.
And I think you got to continue to feed the ball into the post if you're Gonzaga and allow the interior presence kind of carry you through at least the early stages of this game.
Shot clock under 10 for Santa Clara.
And really, historically, what have the Zags always done? They've dominated the paint.
Yeah, long three for Bretton Napper.
How about that?
Confident looking shot for the sophomore.
Rebounded really well last weekend, averaging 8 rebounds per game in the first 2 in conference play. Just under 10 points per contest, but he shot that one with confidence. They got to bring a double team right away. You cannot allow Graham Ike to go one-on-one in the block and start to back you in. That's going to be a disadvantage for Santa Clara, advantage for the Gonzaga Bulldogs.
As big as Francisco Cafaro is, the transfer from Virginia, Graham Ike just got right to the rim, and Cafaro fouled him before the shot. Tilly back in, Marshall back in, Jake Ensminger in for the first time for Santa Clara. And Ben Gregg off the bench for the Zags, checks in, coming off one of his best games that he's ever had.
ISO ball right now.
They're going to call carry against Ike.
I like Graham Ike catching the ball maybe 2 or 3 feet off the block. I don't know if I ISO him off the 3-point line.
Some pressure for Gonzaga. Pull-up jumper with the soft touch for Tyree Bryant.
Yeah, he mentioned the depth of this team, guys coming off the bench being able to score. Bryant struggled a little bit last weekend, just 2 of 9 from the field, but if you look at the numbers overall this season, he has been an important player for Santa Clara.
Hickman used the screen, gives it back to Ike, working his way close again, and another basket for Ike.
Much better.
Yeah.
Let him set the screen, let him roll, let him gain momentum going to the basket, and then allow one dribble and finish.
Down low, Tilly. His turn to make a move against Ike, but he missed the shot. A little push follow, no good. And another offensive rebound, then Ben Gregg just ripped it away and saves it into Nembhard. Gonzaga might have an advantage. Watson on the move. Watson lays it in.
In transition, Anton Watson's one of the best finishers as a running forward in our game.
Meanwhile, Marshall, out of control, just lost it. And another transition opportunity for Anton Watson with the foul. Count the basket.
Now you turn the ball over against Gonzaga, and they are going to turn it into points at the other end of the floor, in particular if 22 is out in front. Back-to-back possessions where Anton Watson runs the floor. He is strong, and he is physical, and he's able to absorb the contact, keep his shoulders square, and a soft touch off the glass.
I mean, the redshirt freshman Jake Ensminger from Germany just went flying with that contact. That's how big and strong Anton Watson is. Free throw good, completes a 3-point play, and Gonzaga has tied this game.
And they have done it by attacking the paint. Ever since that first time out, Dave, everything they've scored has been inside the paint. A 7-0 run. They're 5 for their last 5, and everything is coming towards the basket.
You were not in the huddle with Mark Few, but I do believe that was the message that was given.
Yeah, allow the defense, force the defense to have to shrink and start to collapse into the paint And then that's going to open up your perimeter shot and allow that rhythm to come more naturally.
Jalen Benjamin now running the point for Santa Clara. Broncos had a little drought offensively last few possessions, and that'll be another turnover.
It's the turnovers, though. That's their 5th turnover of the game already for Santa Clara.
Braden Huff off the bench for Gonzaga, making his move, and in and out. Marshall, 3. Ball out of bounds and off of Gonzaga. Oh, Ensminger's kind of flying around, keeping some balls alive. Hustling off the bench.
He's an effort player, and he had 9 combined rebounds in 38 minutes last week. They need him. They just know what you do and do it really well.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that he does really well.
Meanwhile, Carlos Marshall coming back out. And I think Herb Sende almost looked like he was checking on, you okay?
Yeah.
But Carlos made one tough shot early in this one. Since then, hasn't looked like himself. Double team in the corner. Tough place to inbound the ball. And a good job by Bryant just to save it off of the Zags player.
Good defense. Everything is amped early. You know, like Gonzaga came out flat. And now all of a sudden, David, the energy level, the body language in which you're seeing, much more to the norm of what we've seen over so many years of watching this team.
Again, having a hard time getting it in. All the way into the backcourt. Three-pointer. No good. Another loose ball there. Ensminger again had a hand on it, but it never hit the rim. So that's a shot clock violation.
It's been really good defense. It's been defense that has been disruptive, creating turnovers. Then you see just good contesting, body positioning, not getting caught in rotations, making sure you're keeping your defensive integrity on that possession.
Don't be scared to shoot, Jake. You got that strap.
Zags have sort of stabilized here in the first half. Watson spin move. First lead for Gonzaga.
Just easy. He's had some great games, and you know, he's a rhythm player, and sometimes you start to see him get that bounce, and you start to think it's going to be a big night for Anton Watson.
Broncos grab the lead right back. Bryan with the 3. Ryan Nembhard. His brother was such a good player for Gonzaga. Huff, shot clock winding down. Greg has to shoot. Came up short. The follow is good. What a play. He's flying around.
Just hustle, right? Just know your shot goes up. He came all the way from the outside of the wing to track that rebound down and get an easy 2.
That was a cool play for the freshman. Greg, 3, in and out, and another rebound. Ensminger's giving Santa Clara some nice stuff off the bench.
That might have been a little too much.
The quick 3 in transition was no good. Hickman drives, runner, too strong. They're going to call a foul against Benjamin for pushing off. So that'll take us to a timeout. The Broncos with a 3-point lead. He's Mr. Popular tonight. We'll see if we can get him to make his way through all these Santa Clara fans and talk to the great Steve Nash when we come back. Well, they have a great basketball tradition here at Santa Clara. Maybe the all-time greatest Bronco. Hall of Famer Steve Nash, 3-time conference champion, 2-time WCC Player of the Year, first-round draft pick by the Phoenix Suns, 2-time NBA MVP. 8-time All-Star, number retired by the Suns, by Santa Clara. Who else has retired your number? Steve Nash, who is back here on campus tonight, inducted in the Hall of Fame, the only Santa Clara player in the Basketball Hall of Fame. Steve Nash, thanks for being with us. Welcome back.
Pleasure. Great to be back. Nice to join you guys.
It's been a long time, right?
It's been a long time. I've been back, not necessarily for games, though. Yeah, this is a treat for me to come back and see him play, see a great Gonzaga team. It's an incredible atmosphere tonight.
You've been a little busy for the last 25 years.
Yeah, been busy. Most importantly, 5 kids,
Yeah.
but other stuff as well.
You know, when you think about this program, and for so long you were the only guy that was a first-round pick, and then back-to-back years to see this program produce first-round picks, what does that mean to a guy like you?
I think it means a lot to all of us. I think it's a tribute to Coach Sendek and his staff, the program he's building here. Obviously, you know, Gonzaga, you know, has had a hell of a run at it for a while now.
Yeah.
So trying to compete, trying to close the gap, and I think he's done an incredible job. I also got to give a lot of credit to, you know, Renee, our athletic director, who's really pushing. And, you know, that's so important, as you know, to try to create a program that can sustain. So proud of everyone involved here.
Gonzaga has the ball. Steve Nash joining us here. Homecoming for him, back to the place where his, I wouldn't say your basketball journey got started, but your college basketball journey was here. A great career at Santa Clara. Ryan Nembhard, good point guard for the Zags, and he scores. Great point guard tradition in this league. John Stockton, of course, played for Gonzaga his college career. You here at Santa Clara, many, many others.
Also a Canadian. So.
Yeah, Ryan Nembhard.
You know, we asked him earlier today. We said, Ryan, you know, Steve Nash is going to be here tonight. You know, you're from Canada. What does it mean? He goes, I'll be honest with you, I'm too young to have watched them play.
100%,
What's that mean? Eddie? You're so old now that these guys that are in college, they didn't even get a chance to see you play.
I know, man. It's well, they told me they were giving out my jerseys to the students tonight. I thought, do you give them a bio with it? Because you know, they're probably unaware. So yeah, I get it. It's I'm almost 50.
So he knew all about you. It's not like he didn't know who you were. It's just he reminded us, well, I think when he retired from the NBA, I was 6.
Right, right.
But he did
100%.
mention you are a legend and an icon, and in particular in Canada, and the international influence in the game and the growth of basketball in Canada. What does that mean to you?
It's incredible. I mean, when I was, you know, at Santa Clara, I think it was like maybe Bill Wennington in the NBA. That was it. So for us now to have 20-plus NBA players from Canada is like unfathomable from the perspective of 20 years ago. So it's incredible. You know, there's been a huge growth of the game globally, and as you see on both sidelines now, a lot of international players, but incredible for Canada to have so many talented NBA players.
Steve Nash with us here. Gonzaga has always had an international presence on their roster. A little less now, actually, than over the last many years. Ryan Nembhard, whose brother Andrew's doing very well in the NBA, played at Gonzaga at the end of his college career. Young man at the free throw line, 7-footer. I think he's got a lot of potential. German, Gustav Tilly, skilled big man.
Playing well. Big addition to the team here. Obviously, he's you know, could be a focal point both ends of the floor for the Broncos.
When you played in the WCC, what was the level of play like in your era?
I mean, it was all-time greats, right?
Hall of Famer on the court.
No, you know what? At that time, the way I looked at it, having you know moved on to the NBA, was it was an extremely competitive, well-coached, smart basketball team. So every night was a dogfight. You know, now obviously you get, you know, St. Mary's, Gonzaga has had some success. Santa Clara with 2 first-round picks who are merging in the NBA over the past couple of years. So, you know, a lot more going on in the WCC than it was in my day.
Hey, you mentioned it, coaching. Your coach is here tonight with you, sitting next to you. I grew up in the Bay Area, in the East Bay. Dick Davies, a legend.
Yeah, for sure.
What did he mean to you and your growth and development while you were a player here that helped you have the success you had at the next level?
First of all, fantastic coach. So I don't want to diminish what a great coach he was, but really the coaching element that he provided me with that I'll take with me forever is mental toughness. You know, he challenged us every day. And I think that kind of environment where a coach is tough on you every single day, demands a lot out of you, expects you to play with your heart and with your head. You know, that was incredible for me as far as building a foundation to overcome a lot of odds, a lot of things that come up, you know, at the pro level as well. So he just had an incredible influence and impact on me.
Good defense that time. 35-second shot clock violation. I think I read a story one time, or maybe Dick told me, that when he saw video of you, well, he's sort of hidden from our view there.
Yeah.
But when he saw video of you, he was like, I hope nobody else sees this, because he wanted you here, and he was afraid if anybody else saw you, you weren't going to end up in Santa Clara.
I think the actual story was the video was so bad as far as quality and opponents. It took a graduate assistant, Scott Graydon, to say, no, we should follow up. Coach Davey came up to watch me play, and that's when he said, I hope no one else is here. And I got lucky because that was my only offer. And, you know, I owe these guys the world for the career I was able to have.
What's the state of the game in your mind? I mean, we talked about the professional ranks, and analytics have become such a major part of it. And the way the game is taught at a young age now, the art of the mid-range jump shot has seemingly died down a little bit. Where do you evaluate the state of college basketball and the state of basketball overall?
You know, I'm not an expert on college basketball, I'll say for sure. But, you know, obviously there's a lot less space in college basketball. You know, in a sense, college basketball is a harder game to play because of the spacing issues, the way the NBA's open up the floor. You know, the rules, less physical in the NBA, essentially, but more physical players. And then analytics and the rules make a major difference in the game. So I think the game's great at all levels. The game's growing. The game's international. However, it changes. Some of it's cyclical, but some of it also is not going to change. You know, it's almost embarrassing to think that none of us figured out a 3 was worth 50% more than a 2 back in the day, but it took us about 40, 50 years to figure that out. But that's not going away, right? So mid-range shots are going to be of low value considerably, but that doesn't mean that you don't use your head and use your spacing time to make plays.
Yeah, Steve, we really appreciate you being on with us. Go enjoy the rest of your night. Is it cool to see all these 11 jerseys?
It's cool. You know, I'm a little sheepish, but it's cool. I'm very honored to be back.
You deserve it. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, guys.
We'll be back right after this.
All the best.
Well, we got 5 college basketball games highlighting our ESPN schedule on Saturday. Starts with these 3. Number 7, North Carolina hosting Syracuse at noon Eastern. Kentucky plays at Texas A&M, 2 Eastern, Arkansas, Florida, 4 Eastern, plus much more Saturday on ESPN.
A lot of great matchups. That Kentucky team, I think if you haven't paid attention to Kentucky, young, fast, play free. I was talking to Coach Cal earlier this week on a radio interview that we were doing together, and he said that the best part about the team is just trying to instill confidence and give them the freedom. They share the ball, and as long as they continue to share the ball and trust in each other and have that kind of ball movement and not turn it over at the clip in which they're playing with, that's a Kentucky team that's good enough to be in Arizona at the end of the year.
Yeah, and since you and Steve Nash were talking about college to NBA, the first rounders the last couple of years from here at Santa Clara, Broncos have had a really hard time getting the ball in bounds.
That is 8 turnovers.
Greg in transition got fouled. Way too many turnovers for Santa Clara, and a lot of them of that variety, and a good job running the floor for the Zags.
Now 8 turnovers that have already led to 6 points off those turnovers. Santa Clara only 2 points off the turnovers so far. One of the big things in this game that, you know, again, you get a Hall of Famer between us, we're going to talk to him, you know. But even during that stretch, the ability of Santa Clara to get on the offensive glass, they have a 7-to-1 advantage in offensive rebounds in this game. And Gonzaga's got to do a better job of cleaning up their defensive glass. He missed both.
Greg missed both free throws. Ball goes out of bounds off of Gonzaga. So that's a missed opportunity. Santa Clara still leads by 4. You talked to Coach Cal. Zags have tons of players in the NBA playing at a really high level. Chet Holmgren, who's Jalen Williams' teammate, in Oklahoma City. You got the 2 first-rounders from Santa Clara. Nobody. Kentucky, by far the most current players in the NBA come from Kentucky of any school.
You think Chet and Jalen are watching this game together right now?
I hope so.
I don't know if OKC's playing tonight. I didn't look at the NBA schedule.
It's usually pretty light on Thursday.
What a season they've had so far.
Tilly and Watson just backed up and Tilly fell down.
Just pulled the chair on him.
He did. And it worked. Nolan Hickman, 3. No. Gonzaga still has not made a 3.
0 for 8.
It's been a problem for this Zags team. Not a lot of shooting. The shooting on both sides has just been ugly. Dusty Stromer, the freshman.
This is a matchup that Anton Watson could maybe back down on the post if they clear out.
I think he's thinking the same thing. Here's Nembhard off the pass from Watson. Still no 3s made for the Zags in the first half.
If you don't make 3-pointers in today's college basketball landscape, it is really, really difficult. I mean, we saw that last night in the Colorado-Cal game. The disparity from the 3-point line ended up being a huge reason why Cal was able to come from behind and erase what was at one point in time a 20-point deficit to win at home.
Another Santa Clara turnover and another good play by Watson. Stromer, 3 in transition. No.
10 turnovers from Santa Clara. If they cut those turnovers in half with how they've shot the ball here, this lead would be much larger.
Almost turned it over again. Napper, 3. He off to the side. He knew it. But another offensive rebound and then another turnover, although that one was kicked, so it won't be a turnover. I don't know if there's too much adrenaline early in this game or what, but these 2 teams are better than they're showing right now.
I would not disagree with you, partner.
I mean, Santa Clara won at Stanford. They beat Oregon. They beat Washington State.
But we talked about up top. I said, how do they pull off the upset? What was the first thing I said? Santa Clara needs to value the ball. They are not valuing the ball here in the first half.
Herb Sendek told us point blank, when we've struggled this year, we've not protected the ball. That's been our #1 issue. And it's popping up here. Right now,
they
cannot get the ball in bounds.
Well, and as much as they've had some of these turnover issues, it's not like the Zags have converted them into points.
I mean, Gonzaga's gone 4 minutes without a point. So both sides, I mean, Zags got to be frustrated by that. Santa Clara's got to be frustrated by that. They haven't scored for 4 minutes and we're only up 4. Nice drive, and then the shot from point blank range was missed by Tyree Bryant. Amazing. Anton Watson, layup good.
Downhill, so difficult to stop.
He's having a heck of a first half. We're going to call a foul.
He's got 13 of their 21, Anton Watson. I mean, where they would be without Anton Watson at this point in time would be completely lost. And a lot of his production has come in transition. And if he sees a seam or a gap that he feels like he can attack, he's going to finish.
Yeah, the monster game in Maui against UCLA. He's had a lot of big games in a long, distinguished Gonzaga career. O'Neal, contested 3. Good. That kid can shoot.
Size, can shoot it from the outside. A career 37% three-point shooter.
At 6'10", Watson. Now the Broncos looking to run. Marshall 1-on-2. Spin move. Draws a foul.
This Santa Clara team, as you mentioned, they have some great wins. They have some wins that they can really hang their hat on. And then they had some losses in there that they're kind of like ones that they felt like they should have been able to get. A big one would have been the Utah State game. So close, right? And against a very good team that's playing really well. They just beat, I think, Colorado State last week. They stormed the court. But they did not play well against Yale in this building.
You know, for the whole league, You're talking specifically about Santa Clara. 6-0 start, 2-0 in conference play. That's good. Best three-point shooting team by percentage in the league. But the ups and the downs you describe, I think it describes the whole league. The non-conference season for the WCC was not as successful as it has been for many years.
First season, too, without BYU. Made the jump over to the Big 12.
Yeah.
Obviously, BYU off to a slow start inside conference play, but had a great non-conference.
Air ball from Ike, but Watson there to grab the miss and put it in. Another bucket for Watson. He's got 15.
This might be one of those nights where you just lean on him. And you know, as a teammate of his, you got to sometimes understand, like, okay, this is our guy right now. Let's continue to try to put him in a situation to be successful.
Brian picked up his dribble, looking for some help. Benjamin almost slipped, hits the shot. Tough two.
Really difficult too. The grad transfer from Mount St. Mary's.
Nemhard goes right by Benjamin, then missed the shot. Marshall pushed off. Offensive foul.
Well, Santa Clara right now has been a little bit more opportunistic and been able to shoot the ball a little bit better, in particular from beyond the arc, and that's the difference in this game.
All right, good summary. Thank you, guys, of what's going on here in the first half so far.
To Tom's point, and Coach Green's point, is Anton Watson 7 of 8. The rest of the team's 4 of 22.
Yeah, 4 of 22.
Not good.
Not good.
You know what was good, though?
What?
Is that I go to break and I go to my cell phone. I got James Jones from Yale saying thanks for the shout out. I got Fran Fraschilla texting me the score of the OKC Trailblazers game tonight. They were in action. It was only the 5th largest win in NBA history at 62-point margin. Pretty good for OKC. Chet had 19. Jalen had 21 and 7.
Yeah, that's my bad. I should have checked the Thunder schedule before we started tonight.
I count on you for those things, Dave.
Turnover, Gonzaga. Ball in transition, a little step through, lays it in. Nice move.
I love his length. I love his athleticism, how fluid and comfortable he is with the ball in his hands.
Biggest lead for Santa Clara. Nolan Hickman, runner, good. I hope that now that they're sitting back after an historically great win, the Oklahoma City Thunder Stars, Chet Holmgren and Jalen Williams, one on each side of this rivalry. I hope they're watching.
Put a pizza on it or something.
Yeah, come on. Got to have a little something on the line. Down low, nice pass and a foul. Good cut by Cafaro.
You know, we talked so much about turnovers, taking turnovers and trying to turn them into points. There's been 11 turnovers by Santa Clara, 6 points off those turnovers, only 3 turnovers for Gonzaga. The difference is they've converted 2 of them. So it's only a 6-4 advantage. Even though Santa Clara has been careless with the basketball, the Zags really haven't made them pay as much as they should have.
By the way, that foul on Graham Ike, that was his 3rd. He's going to have to come out of the game. We got another women's college basketball triple header for you on Sunday afternoon, starting at 1 Eastern on ESPN. Number 21, Florida State. Number 11, Virginia Tech. We got Angel Reese and LSU at Auburn at 3 Eastern. Tennessee at Texas A&M at 5 Eastern, all on Sunday. Missed free throw, another offensive rebound for Santa Clara. Ball, 3.
How about that? I mean, does that not epitomize what we've seen in the first half? 9 offensive rebounds in the first 17 minutes of this game for Santa Clara. Their ability to turn those into points, the ability to knock down the 3-point shots. Gonzaga's 0 for 10 from 3. They're minus 15 points from beyond the 3-point line here in the first half. Santa Clara's feeding off the energy tonight.
Back here in Santa Clara, biggest lead for the Broncos, a 13-4 run. It's 36-25. Hickman loses the ball, and Santa Clara's got a chance to add to that lead. Benjamin attacks. Benjamin, against one of the best defenders in the country, scores.
A 13-point lead here for the Broncos. You talk about trying to close the half with momentum.
Mark Few on the missed free throw offensive rebound was about as mad as I've ever seen it. Crossover for Nemhard, way off the mark with that three. Still over from behind the line. Ball kind of feeling it right now. Tough pull up, no good.
And I think that's when you want to work that possession a little bit, understanding the momentum on your side.
Tough big man three, good.
First
Finally,
three.
one goes down for the Zags.
1 for 12 from beyond the arc.
Santa Clara's made 5 of them. Up 10, under 2 minutes. Benjamin whipped that pass in the corner. Brian, good.
Using that strong closeout, trying to close out to the three-point line. Now you can drive in a straight line drive and attack that closeout.
Nemhard finds Huff, who lays it in.
Good find that time by Nemhard.
Leads the conference in assists. He's playing in front of one of his heroes, Steve Nash. Brian for 3, left side, no good. Neal almost grabbed the board. He goes down. Here comes Gonzaga. Watson down the lane, foul.
The Zags aren't boxing out. I mean, that's just on the weak side. They're not boxing out, and they're allowing Santa Clara, even on that possession. I know they didn't get it, but Mark Few's looking at his bench going, who wants to be physical enough? Right now, the more physical team is the one in white.
He had some strong words, I think, for Ben Gregg, who's getting ready to come back in this game.
Think about this, just the total rebound numbers, Dave, in this game. It is plus 17 for Santa Clara here in the first half on the glass. You go on the road and you're minus 17 in the first half on the glass with only 1 made three-point shot. You could look at this and actually say Gonzaga's pretty lucky to only be down 9 right now.
Yeah, I agree. Timeout for Santa Clara. Up 9, one more free throw coming for Anton Watson. He's got 16 by himself. Well, there's the rebound margin number you're talking about. 4 more made threes than the Zags. The turnovers have killed Santa Clara. If they had kept better care of the ball, this would be a huge lead.
No question. And Herb Zenig is clearly going to be focused in on that at halftime and just saying, guys, understanding also time and possession. I thought that last shot by Ball was rushed. You have, at the time, I think it was a 15-point lead, and you come down and you rush a shot and you give something back going in transition the opposite direction. Value the basketball, value the possession if you're Santa Clara. And if you're Gonzaga, the challenge is, are you going to be physical enough in the second half of this game to match what the Broncos have done in the first half on the glass?
Watson made both free throws. What a half he's had. 17 of the Zags 32. And some pressure set up. Maybe just to eliminate the possibility of a 2-for-1. Make him take some time getting the ball up the floor.
Way to hold it, Johnny. That's more like you basketball we got you for.
Tough bounce pass. Marshall flipped it up behind his back with his back facing the rim. No good.
One shot for the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Mark Few wants them to work this down into the final seconds. Does not want to give another chance to Santa Clara. Anton Watson should get his hands on it, though.
Nemhard instead scores off the glass. And the horn sounds after all of that. Somehow Gonzaga's only down 6.
And I think that's what Mark Few is going to say going to the break is, guys, we didn't rebound, we didn't shoot, and we're only down 6. Let's start doing a couple of those things. Let's be tougher.
Pretty remarkable first half. Santa Clara trying to snap a long losing streak. Let's get you to the studio. All right, back here in Santa Clara, we get ready to start the second half. Number 23 Gonzaga with a long winning streak on the line against Santa Clara head-to-head. Down 6. Dave Fleming, Sean Farnham. In some ways, the Zags, Sean, have to feel lucky that they're only down 6.
They do, and I think so much of that has to do with the fact that they just got beat up on the glass. And if it wasn't for Anton Watson I don't know where this Gonzaga team would be. Plus 12 in points in the paint. I think that's the focal point if Mark Hughes' guys keep playing through the post, keep playing through number 22. He was 7 of 8 with 17 points. The rest of the team was 8 of 27 for 17 points. But their biggest issue is they didn't match the physicality. Santa Clara came out and just beat them up on the glass. 9 offensive rebounds in the first half, plus 16 overall. This is the play you're talking about. Mark Few at the top of your screen. After you give up the offensive rebound for the kick out three, he's timeout on the floor. He's grabbing bodies saying, I don't know who you're getting, but you're going to go get somebody and you're going to get him out of the game right now. And I think that's the biggest key for Gonzaga here in the second half is can they match the physicality? Can they get on the boards, Dave? Can Santa Clara continue to do that, by the way, and start to cut down on some of their turnovers? 11 turnovers in the first half.
I agree with you. It's not often that a team would go 1 of 12 from three-point range, and we would semi-ignore that. I mean, Gonzaga didn't make outside shots. That was not the biggest issue in the first half for the Zags. Santa Clara ball as we start the second half. Ball got knocked down. They'll call a foul against Watson.
That's just his first personal foul. Graham Ike had 3 personal fouls in the first half. He had 4 points and only 1 rebound. And he's a guy that we featured off the top of this contest because in the last 4 games he was averaging more than 20 points per contest.
Tilly against Ike, who's got those 3 fouls. Maybe not a bad idea to try to go after him early, but Ike just held his ground. Tilly fade away, good.
The length of Santa Clara is difficult to prepare for. They have multiple 7-foot players. There's very few teams in the country that have the length that Santa Clara has on the interior.
First possession of the second half for Gonzaga. Ike. Watson offensive rebound and the putback spins in.
Anton Watson continues to be the guy.
Carrying this team.
Somebody else has got to join him, though, tonight. Good pass.
Really good. Until I think he could have gone a little quicker. Instead, he took his time and missed it.
Almost a travel.
Tilly got fouled by Ike. Wow, so that's doubly bad for Gonzaga. It's a turnover, and then Ike trying to get the loose ball, pushed Tilly to the floor, and that's his 4th personal foul. Less than 2 minutes into the second half, he's got to go right back to the bench.
And then what does that do? It allows that size of Santa Clara to be a little bit more aggressive. Huff is a good player, but he's not as tough and as physical underneath on the rebounding wars that might come up throughout the course of this game.
Now with Ike not in there right away, Napper attacks, hits the basket, plus a foul, chance for a 3-point play.
Just great composure. They find that seam and then just go up.
And not that Graham Ike is like a big rim protector. He's not a great shot blocker, but just a physical presence on both ends of the floor that now the Zags are going to be missing.
Napper's got such good quickness, and he's always looking to attack off the perimeter and just got into Nembhard's body.
Clara's up that lead, back to 9.
I just get the ball out of Anton Watson's hands. I'm not letting him play back to the basket basketball here.
Yeah, they did let him do that one-on-one. Essentially, no help came, and he scored again.
Why not bring help right now and try to see if anybody else from Gonzaga can consistently make a shot?
They're going to call, I think they said Napper was out of bounds. Stepped on the out-of-bounds line. I mean, I'm with you. If you're Santa Clara, just make somebody else prove that they can score.
Well, and it's also where Anton Watson catches the ball. If he's flattened out and he gets the ball in the position he's at right now, you go double. okay, maybe not right now. Now that he puts it on, you got to go. And force somebody else to consistently knock down a shot, something that they have not done the entire evening.
They haven't done it. Nolan Hickman missed the three. Carlos Marshall has been a little wild tonight. Tilly trying to post up. O'Neal over Watson. Too strong. Stromer grabs a defensive board. Nemhard on the attack. He draws a foul. And I think they called that a shooting foul.
They did.
Ryan Nemhard's definitely a guy who could help Anton Watson. He's had his moments tonight. Points, only 3 of 9 shooting. Makes the first free throw. We got wall-to-wall college hoops on Saturday right here on ESPN. The first 3 games: Syracuse, Carolina in the ACC, SEC, Kentucky, Texas A&M, and then another SEC matchup. Todd Golden, old USF coach at Florida from the West Coast Conference, now in Gainesville, hosting Arkansas. Both free throws good. The lead back down to 5.
I mean, all the positive things for Santa Clara, and the lead is 5.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels like if Gonzaga can just get a couple of stops sustained, somebody else besides Anton Watson, make another three-point shot, take some energy, and all of a sudden flip the script, you start to apply the pressure to the home team, right? Like right now, the pressure's on Gonzaga. They're on the road. Santa Clara's playing with good energy. The fans have good energy.
I mean, look, the college players obsess about this kind of stuff. They don't. However,
oh, wow.
Extra pass, corner 3, good. Nice ball movement.
Yeah, but it's poor defense up top. Lunging, reaching, getting yourself out of position. Good ball movement beats bad defense that time.
Now Watson. What would Gonzaga be without Anton Watson tonight?
He might need to go for more than just his career high against UCLA.
Out of bounds, Santa Clara keeps it.
Just watch the lunge and the reach out top. And now you vacated spots. Nemhard just made himself a non-factor. Watson's got to defend too. No chance you can do it.
What was anybody doing on that possession?
From the Santa Clara perspective, they were saying, hey, we're going to get a wide open shot just like they did right there.
Yeah, wide open from the corner, and another 3 for Tyree Bryant.
Mark Hughes called timeout because Dusty Stromer had no idea where his man was. The young freshman out on the floor, and he's watching the ball and has no awareness of where his guy is. And what was a 5-point lead, all of a sudden now you look up and you're like, hey guys, we're almost down by 10. Dave, the last 2 possessions, wide open three-pointers. Look at Nemhard here. Watch how he gives up weak side positioning defensively. Yeah, it's a lot like watching a national championship game. Gap integrity. If you don't have gap integrity, you're going to give up big plays. Michigan had a couple good run plays. That was for you, Coach Green, back in studio for the family. Dusty Stromer here on the weak side. He's going to get caught. It's not even really a screen on the weak side of the ball. And again, he doesn't know where his guy is. He thinks he's up a little bit. By the time the ball gets passed, he doesn't even get a hand up in time, and it's a wide open three-point shot. Back-to-back possessions. Good execution by Santa Clara, but really poor defense by the Gonzaga Bulldogs.
Well, the Broncos fans can sense this has a chance to be the night when that 26-game losing streak head-to-head against the Zags comes to an end. And Mark Few's team, the point I was making, Sean, you said pressure on the Zags. Are they obsessing over it? No. But I guarantee you all these Gonzaga players know their team has been in the top 25 for years and years and years consecutively. If they lose this game tonight, that streak's probably coming to an end. And it's, in a way, it's the bigger picture pressure of the expectation level of this Gonzaga program. Hickman, tough shot. Huff there for the putback.
Good putback, good offensive rebound by Huff. Not a lot of offensive rebounds in this game for Gonzaga.
Huff's given him some nice minutes off the bench. A couple big baskets. Van Greg, who checked in for Stromer. Good defense by Hickman. They call a foul. Dropped his hand down on the arm of the shooter, and that'll take us to a timeout. 51-44 here at Santa Clara. Second half. Back right after this. How dominant is this Gonzaga program been? Well, we know they've played in 2 national championship games. They've been to the Sweet 16 so many times. Under Mark Few in conference play, 335-34. Just amazing how great they've been in the WCC with, by the way, a lot of good teams along the way in this conference. 21 tournament titles, more than everybody else combined by far. Average point differential, biggest of any team in any conference in the country, not close.
Tonight, though,
it's a different story tonight, and it might be a different story this year. Every program is allowed to have a down year. 143 straight weeks in the AP poll, the longest active streak of anybody, and again, that one's not close. But Mark Few's team, you and I both would think that if they lose this game tonight, that streak come Monday is going to come to an end.
Yeah. But all that being said, and you can look at the numbers and the rebounding differential and the points differential from the three-point line and all the things that have gone right for Santa Clara. Santa Clara has not given themselves a wide margin to exhale and breathe for the final 15 minutes of this game.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
It is one run away from Gonzaga taking the lead of this contest.
1 of 2 for Brenton Napper.
Speaking of having a down year, UCLA just lost by 46 points to Utah.
Wow. Crisis time in Westwood.
Worst loss in program history was 48, and that was to Stanford.
Ryan Nembhard, no good. Well, Broncos looking to run.
They've done a better job of not turning the ball over here to start the second half.
Bryan on the attack. No
Off
good.
balance.
Yeah.
His shoulders weren't square. He was drifting across the paint.
Anton Watson, 23 points, 10 of 11, making 11 of 12, and a chance for a three-point play.
I will continue to say they need to double team Anton Watson. If he's playing bully ball, wait till he puts the ball on the floor for the first time. If he catches the ball as low as he did right there, you've got to bring a double team and allow your defense to try to get the ball out of his hands. Because when it's in his hands tonight, he is the one guy on the floor that can't miss for Gonzaga.
He's got 25. The rest of the Zags combined, now he's got 26, have 21. And have made 9 shots. He's made 11 all by himself.
5-point lead. David, it's 2 stops.
See if they can get one of them here. Ball, wild dribble behind the back. They got one, and they got the breakout for Nembhard, who lays it in. Lead is down to 3. Three-pointer, too strong, long rebound, wide open, Benjamin 3, short, and Ben Gregg grabs the rebound. 2 wide open looks, and now, unbelievably, the Zags could tie. No whistle, shot good.
And all of a sudden, as Jim gets a little quieter, the pressure starts to shift a little bit to Santa Clara here. Let's see how they respond. I said it was just one quick run, and that's really what it's been. I mean, 2 possessions, 2 stops, and boom, you're right back in the game.
Ball had it chopped away from behind and then lost it out of bounds. They're going to call a foul. One official was saying Gonzaga ball. The other official from behind said foul. I think it was a foul.
It was a slap from behind by Nolan Hickman. Correct call. Santa Clara, this is a big possession for them. They've been in control of this game for a majority of the night.
Tilly against Gregg, elevates, no good. Huff rebound.
And it starts with just being a little bit better on the defensive glass, too.
Watson missed a 3. Great pass. Tilly dunks it home.
That was outstanding movement and a beautiful cut by Tilly right down the middle of the paint.
Big Ensminger, who got the assist there. He's given Herb Sendek some good minutes off the bench. Tough scores.
Good touch. Just feel where the defense is, spin off and give yourself an angle.
Ball. Good. Difficult shot. And it went down. Adama Alpha ball. The Arizona transfer. Back and forth we go. Huff's got the little guy on him, so now he wants a clear out. Spinning his way closer to the basket. Good job by him. They'll call a foul on the floor. No basket.
Yeah, got the switch. What I like about that play more than anything is the fact that Huff recognized that he had the switch and literally told everybody, get out of my way, I'm going here. They need somebody else to be assertive on the floor right now besides Anton Watson. Huff feeling it a little bit after scoring that previous possession down.
Yeah, he's got 9 points. It hasn't been perfect. He's had some missed assignments on defense, hasn't boxed out a couple times, but he's doing some good things for Gonzaga out there. Nembhard, nice dish to Huff. Basket and a foul.
I like the emotion of the game, right? You're on the road. You need to show some emotion. You need to play with some emotion. It was a stagnant first half across the board for the guys in blue. But Huff now trying to make his presence felt. A beautiful pass by Nembhard and a great read. But Huff putting himself in position and providing a spark. I mean, Graham Ike's on the bench with 4 personal fouls. He's the guy you've been leaning on. And now all of a sudden you're looking at Huff saying, okay, can you step up and help your team? He's got 12.
Tie game with 12 minutes to go. He has stepped up big time. Carlos Marshall back in for Santa Clara. Marshall for 3, short. Watson and Nembhard both were there for the rebound.
Thought that should have been a foul actually on Anton Watson, just running straight through the screen.
Gonzaga has not led since 12 minutes in the first half. Now they lead. Another basket for Huff.
What a big night for Huff.
Huge.
Now, he's had some big games, but maybe not in a more important setting when his team needed it most.
Tilly challenged. He'll go to the free throw line. But amazingly, on the night that Steve Nash has come back to watch his alma mater, Santa Clara, play for the first time in about 2 decades, we've seen some good passing, Steve Nash style in this one.
Yeah, have vision, have awareness, move without the ball. Good things can happen for you. Santa Clara's had some good moments, but right now they're trying to figure out how to stop number 34. He's kind of taken over the game as of late.
Dave Fleming, Sean Farnham back here in Santa Clara. And Sean, it's in your contract. When we have a jam-packed January promo, you do it.
Oh, it starts with the NHL on Saturday, 1 Eastern on ABC, ESPN Plus. Rangers, Caps, a little soccer for you. The Spanish Supercopa final Sunday on ABC, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Plus. And of course, it's a wild card Monday, Super Wild Card weekend inside the NFL. Eagles, Bucks, Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then Sean Strickland, UFC 297 middleweight championship on the line next Saturday, 10 Eastern time on ESPN Plus.
That's why you have to do it when it comes up. You just have to.
You know what I have to do too is give Braden Huff some more love.
Yeah,
I mean, you're talking about what he's done here in the second half. Dave, he is 2 of 4 shooting in the first half. He is 6 of 8, and this current run has been a large part of him. 9 of his 14 points have come here in the second half. What a response, what an effort out of 34 in blue.
And I love what you said. Bring some emotion yourself. I mean, he has played hard, and he's been feisty.
The game of basketball has to be played with passion, has to be played with emotion. And this Gonzaga team at times is very flat.
Yeah.
And they get along and they like each other and they compete and they want to be great. but need that little edge. And that edge comes with somebody that screams and lets out in motion after a big bucket like Huff did a couple possessions ago. And all of a sudden everybody else like, yeah, man, I'm with you. Let's go. And when you're on the road in a difficult game where you've been struggling, you need that. You have to have that.
Tied once again. Nembhard three. Good!
Just the second three-pointer made of the night. 2 of 15 from deep, but a big one.
15. And they're up by 3. Bad pass, tough pass, knocked away by Gregg. Cameron Tongue just gave it up. Now Nembhard on the move. And Tilly,
just
that ball
unnecessary.
it wasn't going in.
That ball had no chance of going in, and you just gifted 2 points to the Gonzaga Bulldogs.
Now, that was a gift.
But after everything the Zags have gone through, watch this as this shot goes up. I mean, this one has no chance of going in.
None. Easy call. 3. No. Rebound. Watson had to go off his hands out of bounds. This is the biggest Gonzaga lead.
So what's flipped? How has this happened? How about one offensive rebound so far in the first 10 minutes or first 9 minutes of this second half versus the 9 offensive rebounds they had in the first half? Gonzaga has fought harder on the glass.
A lot harder.
That's helped their defense. That's helped them limit them to 1 possession. And then it's allowed them to also run off of those missed shots and try to attack in transition and find advantages in individual matchups.
Ball, little shot fake, got free, high arcing 3. A beautiful 3 from Ball. Ben Gregg's helped on the rebounding front in the second half, but he's had a quiet night overall. Setting a screen here for Nembhard. Will kick it back to Gregg. And then he loses it. Zags got back on defense. O'Neal 3. No. Rebound Watson.
Great job by Anton Watson sealing on the inside, gathering that rebound. The rebound margin starting to thin for Santa Clara.
Nembhard kind of leaning away, no good.
Let's go, Shaq.
Nice look, cross court, Tilly to Marshall, and he airballed it.
Hey, just a beautiful pass over the top, one that Marshall has got to at least put on iron. And you look at his percentages over the course of the year, very good three-point shooter.
I mean, it does tell you, they said to us he's been under the weather. He has not looked like himself tonight. Because that was a great pass and an open look. Zags ball up 2. Almost a turnover. Watson saved it. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Ryan Nembhard down the lane into the corner. Watson 3. Well short.
Let's go,
O'Neal on the attack. Marshall right into a double team, tried to pass out of it, turned it over.
He might need to take him out of the game. I mean, that's an air ball and then a very costly turnover in a moment where you dribble in too deep and you just toss it up in a 2-point game.
Totally out of sorts, Carlos Marshall. Nice look, Huff, shot fake, heaves up the 3, way too strong. Outlet to O'Neal, swatted by Huff, who hustled back on defense. Nice job by him. Santa Clara does keep it. Marshall, another bad pass. Huff on the floor. He's playing hard. Jump ball. Arrow favors Gonzaga. Couple Huff maybe has never played this hard.
Well, and this important minutes too. I mean, on the road, team trying to find a way to just scratch one out. You miss a shot, does it matter? No. You get back and you defend, and you make a positive team play for your team. You just got him a possession.
Gonzaga's come back. They lead by 2. Gonzaga was getting outworked, out-hustled, outplayed in the first half. Braden Huff, the redshirt freshman big man, Sean, looked like he took it personally.
Yeah, Anton Watson was like, guys, anybody who wants to come with me on this journey tonight, and Braden Huff has been the guy. He's going to take a break, and he deserves a little bit of a break. He deserves some high fives. He deserves some pats on the back because he has played so well here tonight. 14 points, 4 rebounds, 2 block shots. He's drawn 3 fouls. He's been very efficient. And just the energy and the emotion in which he's played with, I think sparked Gonzaga on this entire run to come back and take the lead.
Yeah, his team badly needed it. And now he's on the bench. EK back in with 4 fouls, under 8 minutes to go. Anton Watson, who's carried Gonzaga offensively, elevates. No. Rebound, Broncos. Ball pulls up, scores.
How fluid is that? I mean, that's a pro move right there. In transition, 6'7", get to your spot in the paint, elevate with great touch.
Kid who played in high school against Victor Wembanyama. Started his career at Arizona, now here at Santa Clara. That's a foul against the Santa Clara big man. Cafaro can't believe it.
Just watching transition. Look at the little hesitation. Get to your spot right at the logo. Little floater game action. You get to the logo and you have a good floater game, you can score a lot of points.
Yeah, how do you stop that? EK. That was good defense. Watson there, though, for the putback. O'Neal, left hand, scores.
Just great job taking from the perimeter. I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't go inside and try to attack EK and get him out of the game. But really, realistically, with the way Braden Huff has played, you might want EK in the game a little bit longer.
Well, I mean, here, that wasn't on EK, but just not a great entry pass, and it's a turnover. They have looked more disjointed with EK on the floor than when Huff's been out there.
And there's nights that are like that. Look, EK's had plenty of great games as of late.
The drive and no finish, but the ball knocked away. Santa Clara comes up with it. Ball was aggressively calling for it. Trying to enter it down low. They do, and get the basket on EK.
A good pass, and EK's going to have to give up space. Right now, Braden Huff's coming right back in the game because he's giving up space. He can't be aggressive and foul out.
Tough way to play. Nembhard from the elbow. Got the basket.
Simple and clean.
Tied again.
I love the throwback uniforms, by the way. I love the Broncos throwback uniforms. I love the Zags throwback uniforms they wore the other night.
They were awesome. What a crossover move. 3 no good. Napper got open, just missed the shot. Now the Zags can go back ahead. Nembhard wants to attack Napper. 3. Way off to the side. He's been shooting the ball so well lately. Not tonight. Ball tried a no-look pass.
That's just careless. One hand gets deflected and gives the possession right back to Gonzaga.
Hickman down the lane. Nolan Hickman draws a foul. Couldn't quite finish. Almost had a chance for a 3-point play.
Yeah, we touched on this last night. You and I had the Colorado-Cal game, in which Colorado was up by 20.
Really great game, by the way.
And then Jalen Tyson took over in the second half. Jalen Cone hit a couple threes, and a 14-point deficit was erased real quick. And Cal kind of took momentum on their home floor. This has kind of had the opposite side of it, where the road team in the second half had started to take some of that momentum away from the home team. And that's where, when you haven't had success against an opponent, and look, it's not this team, but it's against this opponent and these two universities. It's been all Zags for a long time.
Everybody knows about it.
Breathe.
Yeah.
Value the ball that much more. Every pass has got to be two hands, and it's got to be crisp. Can't have turnovers, can't have empty possessions. Because what happens is Gonzaga's experience, and there's guys on this team that do have experience, like Nolan Hickman. Get to the free throw line, they're making it on the road. Why? Because they've been in this environment their entire career, every road game they play in the West Coast Conference.
That's a big 5 minutes. I know it's early in conference play for lots of reasons. Ball, pull up three, no good off the iron. Ike defensive board. Uses the Ike screen, lobs it up for him, tried to dunk it home, couldn't do it, but he'll go to the free throw line. Nice little two-man game.
Really good two-man game, and a good job trying to free Ike up to make an impact here. You've got to be careful even on ball screens that the point guard's got to make sure the big is set to utilize that screen properly. You don't want him to pick up an illegal screen. He sets a nice one. The defense has to help over ever so slightly. And as Tilly vacates that back spot, Ike can go up.
Ike's had a quiet game. A lot of that has been because of the foul trouble. Just 5 points now, but made that first free throw.
Zag 7 of 7 from the free throw line here in the second half.
Ike couldn't get the roll. Watson, though, trying to rip it away on the floor. And a dog pile, they'll say jump ball. And the arrow favors Santa Clara. Great effort by Anton Watson. It was one versus the team.
And that one was able to really gain possession of it. Everybody else just kind of jumped on him afterwards.
Yeah, Santa Clara got lucky. The Herb Sendek's team down 3 with the ball, 4.5 to go.
So many wild finishes we've seen this week in college basketball. Are we in store for another one here?
Hope so. Extra pass in the corner, 3, good! Tie game.
Excellent ball movement. And just overloading the defense and giving up clean, wide open threes. Every time it seems like the Zags have taken a little bit of a lead and took the energy out of the building, Santa Clara hits a 3 and the students get right back into it. We're tied with 4 minutes left. Let's go.
All right, when we're finished, Sports Center coming up next. Nicole and Max getting ready. Lots of sports news all week long. Bill Belichick moving on. Reese Davis's exclusive sit down with Nick Saban. Can't miss that. All kinds of action in the NBA. That and much more right here after we're finished on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Nicole and Max love close games. I know that. I talk to both of them every time I go back to Bristol. I'll be back in Bristol tomorrow. Nicole and Max are sitting in the studio right now getting ready, and they're going, you know what, Farnham? We love close games. Show us the close games in the 20-game win streak the Zags had. Take it away, Dave.
Yeah, 26 games in a row. Zags have beaten Santa Clara. Only a few times has it come down to the wire. It's been a while. Last year, Santa Clara in the first half actually led Gonzaga here in this building by, what, 15?
Yep.
Zags ended up coming from behind and winning. They led by 13 tonight in the first half. Steve Nash is here for the first time in forever. Everybody's wearing the number 11 Broncos jerseys. Gonzaga's streak of being ranked in the top 25 is on the line. 4:13 to go. You think Nicole and Max are thinking, hey, triple overtime. Take it as deep as you want.
They love late nights in Bristol, trust me. There's nothing more than they love sitting in the studio until like 1 o'clock Eastern time. Just to get started.
Anton Watson out of the timeout. Another basket for Watson. He's got 30.
I do not understand why they don't take the ball out of his hands. And I do not understand why they have not doubled him and try to give him a different look.
Tilly, nice move to the basket. Great pass, and he finished. Here comes Watson again. Watson lost it going up. It's a turnover. Ball. 1 on 3. Ball. No. Tip. No. And they're going to say count the basket. Basket interference.
Now they're going to go look at it, though. Mark Dude's like, what are you talking about? They're like, don't worry, we're going to go take a look at it.
So for now, they've said count that basket.
Take a look. A little bit wild on the first shot attempt. I don't know if Graham Ike
pulling the net.
They called it from behind. I don't know if the ball was over the rim on this touch. Watch, then this gets deflected right there, and then he pulls on the net. Watch on the attempt right here. I think this is what I'm looking at. Is the ball is already going towards the basket, so when it's deflected there, is it over the top of the cylinder? And from the angle in which we don't really have a good angle.
Gonzaga, meanwhile, is going to call a timeout.
Yeah, so they determined no basket interference. And then it goes to the possession arrow. Now that's a pretty big deal because that means the possession arrow now goes back to Santa Clara. So while Gonzaga gets this possession, remember that late in the game if we have a jump ball situation.
Nolan Hickman couldn't finish. Watson there again. Watson had it knocked away. Loose ball. Watson diving for it. And it's knocked off of Ike out of bounds.
How about the hustle from both teams?
Yeah.
I mean, Anton Watson is giving every ounce of energy he has to his team right now. But every time he goes for one of those loose balls, Santa Clara players are swarming. And does this loose ball count the number of bodies that hit the floor? I mean, this is conference play. This is when everything starts to intensify and you're trying to build momentum. You're trying to make a statement. Santa Clara knows that a win here tonight is a statement win for their program. They haven't done it in a really long period of time.
For them, way too long. January 20th, 2011. The last time Santa Clara beat Gonzaga. Ball came up short. Watson another rebound. So it stays tied with 3 minutes to go. Braden Huff, by the way, back in the game. He's been a big-time difference maker for Gonzaga. Nemhard, crossover.
Anton Watson taking a little bit of break on this possession. He's not left the corner.
Gregg's three, no good, and there's Watson. Took a break to get the energy to do that, and he scores.
He literally stood in the corner, hands on his shorts almost the entire possession. Shot goes up, he goes, wait, I can go grab a rebound and help my team. Ties his career high with 32.
32 points for Anton Watson, 14 of 18 from the field. Now trying to guard Tilly. Making his way to the basket. The big man with the left hand, no. Forced a tough shot.
Anton Watson walking up with him. How much more can he give in the final 2 minutes of this game?
Two guys for Gonzaga have emptied the tank tonight when they've been on the floor. Nemhard back to Huff. Three. That one no good. Rebound. Hickman almost got it. Instead, Santa Clara ball down 2. O'Neal will shoot the 3.
No way.
That one was well off.
You can tell as soon as that left his fingertips, that had no chance.
So now Gonzaga wants to be patient here with the ball. Up 2.
They set the on-ball screen. Huff will come back and set the screen here.
Nemhard behind the back dribble. Got it! What a shot from Ryan Nemhard. Zags up 4, 1 minute to go. Timeout Santa Clara. Nemhard's had a big second half.
He has, and he's got 21, 4, and 5. And just understanding poise and patience. Here comes the screen. Can you create a gap? Yep, just dribble it behind your back, stop on a dime, defense slides out a little bit, creates space and allows you to elevate up over the top. A good read by a guard tonight who's played well. I mean, Nemhard has made some good passes throughout the course of the game that maybe we haven't focused on enough because of what we've seen from Anton Watson, but because of what we've seen from Braden Huff.
Yeah, we didn't mean to leave Ryan Nemhard out because you're right. He's been huge. 15 in the second half for him. 21 overall. Gonzaga's streak 143 straight weeks, by far the longest in the country. That's on the line. Santa Clara trying to get their first win against Gonzaga since January of 2011. 26 straight Gonzaga wins against the Broncos.
Have to get something on this possession.
Yeah.
You know, you have to get something. And to me, I think I want Adama Alpha ball, and I want him driving towards the basket. I'd set an on-ball screen and tell him, let's attack and let's try to get a piece of the paint here. If they collapse, that's where you can find your three-point shooters, and that's where they've had success with the three-point shot.
Inbounding the ball. Here's Ball. He wants somebody to come up and set a screen for him. Didn't really use it. Goes down the lane. Great pass for the dunk.
Get a piece of the paint and put it in the best playmaker, the best decision maker on the team's hands, and I think that was a great move. Now you got to get a stop.
And you figure the Zags want to be patient here.
Well, this time I engage Anton Watson in the play if you can.
Nembhard, another pull-up shot. This one no good. Rebound Santa Clara. Shot clock is off. Broncos down 2. And another timeout. Herb Sendek. Ball wanted to just take it.
Yes, he did. I go right back to the same action that they did on the previous possession. They space the floor, set the screen, have multiple. You have a post up on the left block. You have a diver on the right block. And then if the defense collapses in, you've got the opportunity to kick out to a shooter. A 2-point game, 22 seconds left to go. Understanding time and possession. You don't have to rush here, obviously, but you do have to go with purpose. And then if you miss, you've got to foul right away. You've got to know who you want to foul right away.
Possession arrow, as you pointed out a few minutes ago, does favor Santa Clara in case we get another one of those scrums. But Adama Alpha Ball, the transfer from Arizona, who can create on his own. That was the play they used to cut the lead down to 2. We'll see what Herb Sendek draws up here.
Wouldn't be surprised if you try to show a little bit and force the ball out of his hands. Nolan Hickman will guard Adama Alpha Ball on the inbounds at least.
Ball takes it in. Here comes Tilly with that screen. Ball against Ike. Ball goes by. Ike swats it away, but they'll call the foul.
And that's 5.
5th foul against Ike. It'll put Ball at the line with a chance to tie it. And he's arguing all ball.
From our vantage point, it looked like it was all ball, to be honest with you, Dave. I think I got a little bit of that wrist.
Yeah. Almost on the follow through, got a lot of ball, and then the follow through chopped down on the wrist and the arm.
Yeah, I mean, that's a foul.
It is. So the 5th, Mark Few's going to use it as sort of a half timeout.
There's been no free throws attempted tonight by Adama Alpha Ball. 88% on the season from the free throw line, but has not stepped up and been there tonight. And in a big moment, obviously here, no bigger moment that you can be placed in.
I mean, you would say these are the most pressure-filled free throws that he's taken in his college career.
There's no question. And regardless of what happens here, it makes both. You've got 14 seconds. You got to get a stop. I would assume that Mark Few would call a timeout once it crosses the half-court line to set up whatever play he's going to. And what we've seen recently is Nembhard in an on-ball screen. It'd be Huff setting the screen.
All right, first one for Ball is no good. One of the best free throw shooters in the country, and he missed it. So that changes everything now. Ball's got to try to make this one.
Then make this one, and then you got to foul. You got to extend out pressure. Try to see if you get a turnover quick on the inbounds, get a deflection, something like that. Outside of that, then you got to foul.
Zags still lead by 2, and they're not allowing O'Neal to sub in.
And no time went off the clock.
Yeah, so you got to wait. Second one is good. 1-point game. Stromer comes in for Gray, for Huff, rather.
Huff not a great free throw shooter, just 44% on the season. So you take Huff out. Now you got to try to create a turnover, and Herb Sendek wants to take a timeout.
Yeah, his players didn't look totally organized in terms of setting up the defense and the pressure.
You got to understand how you want to press, where you want. You want them catching the ball, preferably towards the corner if you can. If you're Herb Sendek, right? You want to force them to catch the ball. Can you get a trap? Can you get a deflection right away? If not, you've got to foul right away. You're down by 1. I think you want to elongate this game as much as you possibly can.
I mean, this is where the experience of Herb Sendek, he's been around college hoops forever. He has had so many, and so has Mark Few for that matter, both these coaches. You got young players who maybe some of them haven't been in a game like this, a situation like this, trying to talk them through it, coach them through it.
Twofold. One is you hope you've gone through this at practice. You hope you have a clear understanding of exactly how you want to execute and what you want to do. If you're Gonzaga, this is how we're going to get the ball in bounds. This is who we want to get the ball in bounds to. You anticipate the foul, be strong with it. They're going to come after you. From Santa Clara's perspective, all right, hey, we're down 1, 14.3. Have you been in these situations at practice? I think these are the most valuable, when you've been in these situations at practice, the carryover impact. But you do want to make sure you're well organized. You want to make sure that you're exactly where you want to be. And for Santa Clara, that was their final timeout. So even if they get the stop, they have no timeout to take as they get to the offensive end. So not only are you talking about defensively what you want to do, but once you get the ball back, here's how we want to attack. And these are our options dependent upon what the score is.
That was the last Santa Clara timeout. Zags still have 1, up 1. Anton Watson, the inbound passer. See if Nembhard can get it. He does, and they foul him quickly. But that's a guy that Gonzaga will be very happy to have at the free throw line.
He is 2 for 2 tonight from the free throw line. Came into the game at 84% from the free throw line.
And he has been in situations like this. And a huge second half. First one no good. He missed the front end. Santa Clara could win it with a basket. Ball drives. Ball good with the foul.
Missed free throws matter in late game situations. Nembhard, as you mentioned, he's been there. He's been a great free throw shooter all season long. He misses. And what I love most about Santa Clara is there was absolutely no hesitation. Adama Alpha Ball was going to take this ball the length of the floor, whether Gonzaga tried to stop him or not. And Hickman tried to pick him up. A little hesitation, inside out dribble. Gets underneath him as he goes up for the shot and the finish. He slides back. You see the way he slides into him as he leaves the floor. But the ability to square the shoulders and finish. And I think right now, there's a couple things. Look at the pandemonium here. These students want it. What a special environment. What a special night it has been.
You and I could be in trouble here in 4.6 seconds.
I hope so. I like being in trouble with you, Dave.
Steve Nash here for the first time in forever. Seeing a classic.
Here's the key, though.
Gonzaga used a timeout, by the way.
That's fine. But make or miss here, it's a 2-point game. It's 1 or 2 point game, right? So if you make it, it's a 2-point game. 4.6 gives you about 4 dribbles.
Plenty of time to get a good look.
No question. And so if you think because you made that shot that you won this game, Gonzaga's going to find a way to score at the other end of the floor right now.
Ball will get the free throw after the disappointment of missing 1 of 2 with a chance to tie a moment ago. An incredible bucket. And a chance to complete the 3-point play. The Zags' long streaks are in trouble tonight. Mark Few knows it.
On the made free throw, they're going to sub at the table, allow them to set up their defense.
Ball didn't make it. Watson. 2 seconds. Watson had nowhere to go with the ball. He threw it away. Years of frustration for Santa Clara. And it's all pouring out on a night where their all-time great came back and watched his Broncos pull off a huge win.
A stunning win and the celebration of the party. Welcome to conference play. If you've watched college basketball, the saying on SportsCenter, the new saying is watch this. Have you paid attention to what's happened across the country this week? Purdue at Nebraska, Kansas at UCF, Tennessee at Mississippi State. The Gonzaga Bulldogs have been ranked nationally for 143 consecutive weeks in the Associated Press poll. It's been since 2011 since Santa Clara beat them. It just happened. Watch this.
That was pretty remarkable. And you feel for the Zags, who had to dig deep and fight hard. They were down big. They were looking like they were down and out. And then they had control of the game late. They were up by 4 with a minute to go.
Adama Alpha Ball.
Some huge plays.
Big plays. It wasn't his best night he's played, but boy, did it matter down the stretch. What a night.
A great scene. So many wearing that number 11. They channeled the great Steve Nash, especially Adama Alpha Ball with that shot to win it for the Broncos.
Reminiscent of Jalen Williams making his buzzer-beating shot against BYU in a game that you and I called.
So Ball, Herb Sendek, and the Broncos celebrating with the students here. What a night for Santa Clara.
Herb Sendek's program, every year it keeps getting better and better. This was fun, partner.
SportsCenter coming up next.